Hello, I am Tam of the TamBoTC channel, and well, besides the fact that these guys are just drinking and eating bread for some reason, everyone's eating bread. Also, I got deep in his cups as a companion. It was very difficult, I will tell you, and he actually crashed the game trying to get it to work. But anyways, I wanted to talk about something with a certain YouTube channel. This was a YouTube channel I used to watch back in the day, and I think if I stuck with this YouTube channel, I would not be the same person I am now, because this guy has gone off the frickin' rails, man. Like, I loved his old cynical videos of reviewing video games, but now it's not just cynical videos, it's gone to him being some conspiracy nut, and he really is crazy. Like, he's gotten to the point that, like, he's as bad as, like, Quantum TV. Like, crazy. At least there's no, wife abuse that I know of. But, goddamn, like, he's really gone over the edge over the years, and he's crossed a lot of lines into actually being like, there's different YouTubers that have approached the typical, like, there's a bunch of YouTubers that like talk about stuff being woke. Like, you get to the point where you're like saying every little detail, every little thing now is that word, and then putting your own spin or twist on it. Trying to twist other people's words, manipulate them, and lie to their face. And you're so, like, stuck in your little fantastical world, you're very egotistical, and you just can't see outside of that at all because you don't want to. You're so trapped within it. And I would hope that, like, he would come to grow as a better person, but he's going completely the opposite direction, and he doesn't know it, nor does he think that he is or care. And it's just such a disgusting outview, and like, it makes his content so hard to watch because it's kind of like what I said with why I don't like watching Zack Snyder films. I hate how pretentious Zack Snyder is, and it makes his, like, pretentious kind of, I'm being artistic and saying something deeper than anybody else. It just makes it really hard to watch that stuff. I'm getting the same vibe off of his content, but somehow worse, 10 times worse, a billion times worse. And he's genuinely freaking, like, a Batman villain or a Far Cry villain would just come up to him and be like, hey, look, I'm crazy, but not crazy like you. I wouldn't even say or do the things you do. And he legitimately crosses the lines into being actually sexist and racist, and then just making a million different ways of walking around that, and different ways to word the same goddamn things over and over again, but with longer, lengthier ways of saying that same thing. Of just basically ending in the same, like, he's racist and sexist. Other people have already talked, like Exanor, I can't remember how to pronounce his name. There's he's a VTuber, and he approached recently Synthetic Man, and we're talking about Synthetic Man, by the way. His content lately, and he did a much better job than I could on breaking down a lot of the problems and clear just ridiculousness of how this how Synthetic Man has become. And he's not the only YouTuber out there. And now he's challenged Moist Critical, this guy that's known as the destroyer of YouTube channels in your career. There are so many documentaries on so many YouTubers and streamers and stuff that have come after Moist Critical and then been absolutely destroyed by him. And while there were times where, of course, he's had his flaws, but I don't see this as one of those times that it's going to be very flawed, because it seems with the kind of logic Synthetic Man has and how stuck in his little fantasy world he is, and how much of a like conspiracy nut. I wouldn't doubt it if he believes like frickin' flat Earth, Illuminati, spaghetti monster, all that kind of stuff. It's just ridiculous. And I actually, like, I feel bad because it's like he's ruining his career. He's the one doing this to himself. And yeah, people of course are going to speak up out against him. Why wouldn't they? He's a freaking insane asshole on the platform, and I'm sorry to say that. But his words and actions speak otherwise of his freaking assholery and his craziness. He'll never see that, of course, and he'll always talk around it to try to get by it, and of course he'll see it as like, you're not worth my time, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a crap? It's too late. You challenged Moist Critical, you doomed yourself, so I'm not going to be able to add anything other than the line from the Taken movie, good luck. After what you did and all the stuff you've done leading up to this point, you are becoming slowly at the laughing stock of the internet, and it's only going to get worse, sadly. Like, I would love people to grow and better themselves more than anything. How I approach a lot of things, I like being more neutral and realistic and believable. I want to come from an angle where I don't have to use certain keywords like the ones he uses to get people's attention, whether it's used over and over again. And yeah, I use some of those words over and over again. That's sadly my nature with that stuff. But I want to approach it from a point of view where it's something people can find more believable, and it's right down the middle ground where both sides can see it. Because I'm not a political person. I don't care. I actually don't. I have enough problems in my life. I feel like if I was political, it would just add more problems in my life. And seeing with people like this, it certainly seems like it. That, or they just create more problems for themselves and such. That could very much be a problem. But I wouldn't want to be anyways. That's me. That's just me, and that's how I'm going to stick to it. If you are, or you want to be, or you're dedicated to that thing, I'm not going to stop you. But talking about something, I think of why a lot of stories or character development don't work, is yes, sometimes they are, because they are maybe focused on a message, but that message could be right or left, whatever the frick, who cares once again. Or it could just be completely something different that has nothing to do with either side. And they get so tied up in that, as well as the actors that they find, or they're more focused on their visuals and stuff, and putting their money into that stuff. Why are there not many random encounters right now? Is it just because I'm near a Windhelm? That, like, it gets... This is, like, a hard video to talk about any of that stuff. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff, but, like, this is a person that, sadly, that stuff comes up about because... And, sadly, it's freaking ridiculous. And it's gotten to a point where the person has actually become racist, sexist, and absolutely insane. Like, I'm talking... Put him in a freaking straitjacket in a padded room insane. Like, I'm not joking. He's gone that over the edge with how freaking ridiculous. But, of course, he's never going to see it that way. Or think of it like that. Like, why wouldn't somebody in that position they put themselves there? They're not going to see that. Only people looking in through the window that they've created, they're looking in the reflection, thinking their image is this beautiful, perfect image of themselves. God, it's orange. When in reality, that window or mirror is cracked, and then there's an ugly image looking back in reality. They've created this disturbing reality for themselves, and they can't see through the other side. It's like a one-way mirror or whatever. But yeah, it's gotten freaking ridiculous. He's gone over the edge in a lot of ways. Now, not only me, but multiple YouTubers, multiple people, streamers, whatever, Moist, Critical, Xanar, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, sorry, I butchered your name. A ton of people are approaching this guy now. I want to say my part, and I think there's a... Oh! What the hell? Okay, that's new. Oh, they're going after a frostbite spider. Okay, cool. There's some random encounters, sweet. But yeah, it's just gotten out of hand. Like, I used to watch this guy. He used to have these videos that he would do on games or movies or shows or whatever, where he was a cynical, but still did a good deep dive into stuff. And then he just turned into the monster he's known for today, sadly. Like, we've had so many monsters on YouTube nowadays. It's so sad. I've seen so many YouTubers I once respected go downhill, from the completionists to various others. I don't even know how many I can name. At this point, it's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, and now he's another one that's just been slowly climbing his way into... Oh, hello. His way into that same void. Whoa! Oh! He went frickin' flying. The frick's his body? You threw him so far. I can't even find his body now. Sorry to get off topic every once in a while. Just Skyrim has its moments. But hopefully for him, he can turn the other cheek, so to say, and that, like, the stuff can correct itself. But I have a feeling, like, that's going to be a very slow process. It probably will end in him, sadly, losing a lot of his fan base and such, if he continues to go down this way. And then, like, after he's already gotten the worst brunt of everything, either there's going to be another hurdle he has to go over, or he will have to slowly build that audience again. Kind of like a lot of the other streamers and YouTubers that have already been documented in different scenarios that have also ended their careers or almost ended their careers. But yeah, I see that happening, and this feels like another one of those scenarios. It doesn't feel any different. The only difference is this guy is like he's a different kind of insane guy. It frickin' sucks. And I don't want to use those words, but like, how else do you describe someone like that after you've seen their actions and heard the words in which they had to say? The fricking, for example, when me and my friends heard about him, like, saying the whole satanic goat people in Zelda, I was just like, okay, this guy's definitely loony. What the frick? And it really does not feel like watching that video for the context of why he's saying it, because it just feels like you're watching some conspiracy nut, and he has some of the most out there freaking logic. I don't know what's going on with what his mindset is like, but like, something set him down a deep dark path. And sadly, he's been continually going down that same path. I don't know what else to contribute to that, other than hopefully he can find his way out of that isn't egotistical or manipulative or whatever it may be. Because it's just been ridiculous. There's so many other better streamers and YouTubers you could watch. People who have better content to consume. People with content too that focus on fun and don't even need to force in political viewpoints and stuff. I'm pretty sure there are certainly YouTubers like that, like kids channel YouTubers. There's even YouTubers like Captain Sparkles. I don't know if Captain Sparkles has any kind of political stuff that he puts in his videos, but I'm pretty sure it's not nearly to the amount that someone like Synthetic Man would do. I've watched his entire Lethal Company series, for example, and I don't think I've heard one thing on like either political, religious, or whatever kind of stuff. If there's anything, it's either a joke made for a joke, or it's very brief. Otherwise, I would just watch. There's probably even better video channels and videos to watch for if you do want to watch something that appeals to your political or whatever viewpoints you have or perspective. Because for Synthetic Man, in my honest opinion, I don't think he's the right person for you at all, not even close. This guy will twist your viewpoint, he will change your entire lifestyle even probably with his, maybe not to such a ridiculous extent, because I can't say that for everybody, but I certainly have seen the consequences of that, being that I've watched his stuff and had my own problems just with watching his stuff. And I just do not want to watch him anymore, any longer. He's been over the edge. He's ridiculous, and I'm glad I stopped watching him when I did, because I probably would have ended up, like I said, just as frickin' crazy as him. So glad I got out of that so early, too. Like, of course, I have seen things when I've watched, like, Xanor or other YouTubers pick apart his videos, but that's from a distance. It almost feels like watching those people who are cope hating on Elden Ring right now. It's kind of like watching those. It's pathetic, it's childish, it's ridiculous, it's insane. All sorts of just ists. Racist, sexist, whatever. In his case, it's definitely those things. He can talk his way around those things, but at the end of the day, there's plenty of people who have already pointed out that, yeah, he's gone to the point of he's actually racist and sexist. He can change what he said, but he can't take it away. People are going to clip that stuff. People have already taken that stuff as is, and he can argue, oh, that you took it out of context or whatever, but no, they did not take it out of context. You're just trying to defend yourself the best you can, trying to reword things. I had to deal with that in my own goddamn family. I had a goddamn stepfather that would do that crap. He was a freaking pathological liar, and he would try to revolve around all sorts of stuff and manipulate our family. He was a freaking disastrous asshole. I'm so glad I have nothing to do with my family anymore. I love my brother and sister, but I have nothing to do with them, and that's not entirely my fault. That was my freaking mom's fault. My mom is freaking ridiculous as well. They were psychologically and verbally abusive, and I was not having that. I was not having that at all. That lifestyle was not something I wanted to be part of, and it also would have just ended in disaster too. So I'm so glad I got away from that stuff as well. It's the same here. I'm glad I'm getting away from this stuff. It reminds me of the exact same twisted scenarios I've been in with my own family, and it's crazy. So I'm just done with that stuff. This is going to be my only video on Synthetic Man. If he does somehow find my video or approach me or talk about it, I don't care. He's already getting his just desserts from other YouTubers, other streamers bigger than me. I don't care about size. It's not about the size or the package. It's how you use it, bitch. So, whatever. But I'll see you guys next time. I'm a channel that wants to be focused on fun. I have my times where I talk about drama. This was one that felt kind of personal because I used to watch this guy and had a lot of negativity in my life because of part of his videos. And I'm glad I got out of his freaking watching his crap when I did. I think one of the last videos I saw, so I think one of the last ones I did watch all the way through was his last E3 video. I can't remember what year. It might have been the year that Last of Us or something, maybe even after that. Maybe before that, I don't know. But you know the one. And then I would only hear things about in between his other content, like with his Resident Evil reviews, show reviews, and even though those shows are frickin' awful and stuff, it's the way the execution and the way he approaches that stuff that's just like, okay. Like, there's different ways he could have been going about this, and this is the way you chose. I don't think I want to be a part of this. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Somebody else can word it better than me, but I wanted to just word my part. And I'm sticking with the title of this video because, like, how is he not? Somebody's got to wake this guy up. It's definitely not going to be me, but he's going to be woken up whether he likes it or not. He's going to be snapped out of his freaking twisted reality. And hopefully he will see things more clearly, because I hope more for the best than the worst of people. And sadly, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way anytime soon. Maybe in the future, unless they decide to not change or decide not to go down a better route. But otherwise, yeah. I don't know what else to contribute or add to the situation, whether you think I have or not. But yeah, it's just been freaking ridiculous, and it's sad seeing so many YouTubers that I used to respect and love over the years just fall apart and disappear. I've had so many less YouTubers to watch, so many that I've unsubscribed from and stopped watching just because of a lot of stupid stunts they pulled. I remember when Angry Joe and Night's Watch went at each other, I just was like, this is a ridiculous situation, and I'm just unsubscribing from both. They both have ridiculous stuff going on both sides. While Night's Watch do have some good points point out, they still do have their own share of problems. And nobody's perfect, but goddamn. And Angry Joe is just being a big man-child, surprisingly. Well, not surprisingly, he's been a man-child several times. And we're here in Riften. Hello.
Stay out of trouble, lizard.
Hey, shut up. I can be a lizard if I want. I'm going to be a lizard if I want. Whoa, why are you tall? Anyways, I will see you later. Shut up, mule. I will see you guys later. If you did enjoy this or find something interesting, I don't know if this is something that would be enjoyable, honestly. It's something that's just not enjoyable to talk about. So I have a feeling it wouldn't be enjoyable anyways. Sadly, once in a while, I have those negative things I have to talk about or I want to talk about. And yeah, this was one of them for me. And I'm sure others. Nonetheless, I hope you have an awesome day. I will see you next time. And yeah, bye-bye!